I'm sitting in the African music room of my 130-year-old Victorian house in Buffalo, New York. I discovered some time back that this house was owned by the family of Alice De Janze, or the Countess Alice De Janze, as she was known, a wealthy textile industrialist family. And she was born in 1899 and went on to become one of the most kind of scandalous people in the press in the 1920s. She was always getting into all kinds of scandals, and people were talking about all the kind of the crazy things she was up to. And she spent a lot of time in jazz clubs in Chicago and New York and Paris, and eventually she would end up joining a cult in Kenya called the Happy Valley Set. They're kind of a scary, hedonistic cult, and there she would have a pet lion and eventually get into all kinds of trouble and crimes, and it's kind of a tragic story. But to me it was spooky because I have been playing music from Kenya for a long time now. I play the 8-string lyre called the obokono, which is a bass lyre from the Kisii people in western Kenya. It's a really cool instrument. It has that buzzy sound that East African lyres tend to have, and it's similar to this over here. This is a rikono, which is an obokono with even more strings. This one has 16. I also have one with 12. My teacher, he makes these instruments. His name is Dominic, and he works at Kenyatta University, and he's a master player of the obokono, and we've been working together to kind of create new versions of this instrument. And I have a band with my wife and our friend from LA called Apollo Shadow, and this summer we're going to finish up our first album, and it's going to be a lot of obokono. That's kind of the main instrument I play on the album, but other world music instruments as well. And it's going to be kind of a semi-concept album about Alice De Janze's life, and because he does go to Kenya, it's just very fascinating that the whole story that I've been playing this music for a long time, Kenyan music, and then I moved into this house and make a kind of a Kenyan instrument room, and then I found out the family of this person who was very famous in her time. She went to Kenya and created a whole big scandal, and there has been like a movie made about her and books, and she actually was a musician herself. She played the ukulele, and I like to take music from the past and try to make a more fantastical version of it. So I thought, is there like a double neck ukulele? And apparently there was. This is a double neck ukulele made by Ortega Guitars. They call it the Hydra. It's a regular 4-string ukulele, and also a 8-string ukulele, which has the double courses. It's a similar idea to a 12-string guitar, and I put it in a very kind of altered tuning to kind of give it kind of a darker, more mystical quality. And this course here, I've tuned to a major 6. Usually these instruments, like a 12-string guitar or an 8-string ukulele, you just want to have the 2 strings tuned to an octave. But I decided to put it to a major 6 to kind of get a more kind of interesting sound. And Alice De Janze, she is said to have been the inspiration for F. Scott Fitzgerald's last novel, Tender is the Night, where the main female protagonist of this book was said to have been based off of her life. And F. Scott Fitzgerald himself, when he was growing up, he did grow up also in this neighborhood for a time, so there's probably some truth to that. Yes, Alice's father, William Silverthorne, he and Alice went to France for a while, and they vacationed on French Riviera, and I just thought it was kind of a an interesting thing to write about. Like, so I composed this piece for the double neck ukulele called "We Went to the Beach," and kind of like a dark, reflective piece about this period in her life, and it will probably be on the album, maybe with some other instruments, other world music instruments like the lyre and such. But I've kind of put in some African rhythms here and there in the piece to try to foreshadow that Alice will eventually move to Kenya, and I also put in some kind of harmonies that to me sound a little bit reminiscent of the music of the time, and so it's kind of a rough draft of this piece, "We Went to the Beach."